Welcome to The Guys Review, where we review media, products, and experiences.
I'll let you get through that.
Really?
You're welcome.
I'm surprised and impressed. My name is Steven.
We have a guest. So.
That's true, yeah. You're being nice for the guest.
Yeah, it's manners.
Oh, that's what that is?
My mom raised me right.
No, she didn't. My name is Steven. I'm one of your four co-hosts. Together with me today, we have Chris and Tucker. Trey is not here. He is unfortunately sick. And our very special guest star, host of the Produce Stand podcast, the guy who only has one job, Al. Al, how are you, buddy?
I'm good. How are you now?
Doing good, and you?
Not so bad.
You
By the way,
almost
fuck you,
fucked
Trey.
Yeah, there it is.
I want to get that in as often as possible and as early as possible.
I know. He was not happy
chicken
about
shit
it.
to show up tonight.
I know. That's what he was scared. He was scared. He was definitely scared. No, I know he's upset. He's at home thrown up with a migraine. Is what he emailed us or texted us earlier. So
likely story.
I know that's what I heard. That's what I said. But anyways, well, we'll just kind of keep moving forward. We'll do what I mean. You know the usual go to here.
I have a legit question. Do you think chicken nuggets taste as good coming up as they do going down?
Chicken nuggets.
We'll talk about our weeks. I'll go first. We'll do Chris, Tucker, and then Al, I'll let you have the last word. And then we'll move into, we're doing the movie Goon this week and our North of the Border special. And that's why we got Al as our special guest host today. Glad you're here. Okay. So
I'm happy to be here.
He can tell us all the things they got wrong about Canada.
Yeah. Well, Al, why don't you, let's, do you want to tell us a little bit first about yourself and maybe the produce stand and you know, kind of what y'all do?
Sure. So I host and co-host and produce Letterkenny after show podcast called The Produce Stand. If you don't know Letterkenny, then figure it out. It's one of the best, funniest shows that come out of this country of ours. And I know that some of you guys are fans there of the show too.
Yeah.
So,
Yes.
Yeah.
A lot of fun, and it was a pandemic project that we started in 2020, and it's been, you know, we just recorded our 100th episode recently, so it's been a lot of fun, and you know, we've had some cast members on for interviews, and we've got an amazing community of listeners who chat with us on the DM like you guys have, and yeah.
I would like to say, so when they did their 100th episode, one of the things that the community did was you'd go back and pick your favorite clips of their show, and then they would play it for him. But he had no idea what we were playing.
Of the podcast?
Of the podcast.
Of the show?
Yeah, it was a very self-serving thing that we did. It's like, we want you to tell us how awesome you think we are by showing us by playing us your favorite parts of our podcast.
Because I thought you were talking about the show for a second. I'm going the episode where Bonnie McMurray changes into like the baseball outfit.
That'd be the Halloween episode.
Yeah, the Halloween episode.
Yeah.
Oh, Bonnie McMurray.
Oh yeah.
But I was very self-serving because the clip that I picked had me in it. It was the one I was a special guest on. It was,
and you got ribbed for that, but you know what? Everyone did that. Everyone else did the same thing. They picked the episode they were on.
It wasn't even because I was in it. It was because his wife Tanya had in her top 5 episodes Fart Book for the longest time. I know, right? And so
we cured her of that.
I called it before I was ever on. I said, this episode, which is the Valentine's Day episode. Yeah. I'm like, this is going to knock it off. And it did. And I was so excited. It didn't matter that I was on there, just knocked it off.
He was very excited. He came on the air. It was great.
Look, I've known Steven for almost 20 years now. That's nothing new.
Yeah, I was about to say, that's not the first or last time that has ever happened.
Stiff breeze.
What do we say? Katie, or no, our ballroom danced. Is that what Matt said?
Yeah, ballroom dancing.
Ballroom dancing.
That's his code word for it.
Batching in space. Okay. Al, it's great to meet you. Thank you again for coming on. My week has been fairly standard. I'm trying to think what we did. Gosh, nothing really this week. I was going to tell Trey this. I have a house that's supposed to have closed like 2 weeks ago, and it still hasn't. UPS lost a document that was sent internationally. It's been it's been a giant pain in the ass. My truck is still. I had my truck, had to get work done on it. It's still at the garage. It's been like it's going to be another week. It's super, super frustrating. Beyond that, I know. What did we do yesterday? God.
You had a dance competition.
You had a dance
That's
competition.
right. I watched this movie. I watched Goon in the middle of a dance competition for little girls. And the worst part is I did not know about the nudity. So I'm just like sitting in a sea of moms and dads with little girls everywhere. And all of a sudden there's titties bouncing on the screen. I was like, oh shit. Like,
Let's be fair. They weren't bouncing. Dude was doing a line of coke.
You know, a dad was sitting behind you like, hold on, pull that back up.
I know, right? So, but the good news is my daughter
Mom was like, "Can't you do that at home?"
My daughter came in first place at her dance competition.
Nice.
So
Nice.
congratulations
Well
to
done.
her. Yeah, and then today, like I said, we went to or I told y'all before in the pre-show, we went to a gender reveal party. I think it's the first one I've ever actually been to be honest with you, because when I don't know, Al, our daughters are the same age, and I know your son was the same way. Like we didn't do gender reveals 8 years ago. Like you go to the doctor and they go, "Oh, it's a girl." Oh, it's a
Ours
boy.
was in the wedding cake.
Was it really?
Oh,
Yeah.
What? Wedding cake? Oh, okay. So gotcha.
Shotgun wedding.
wedding.
Yeah,
Right. I didn't want to say it, but yes.
yeah. You're good.
He was having premarital sex. That's
Right.
That's bad.
No way.
That's how he lost his virginity. Let's be honest. Of course. Right, Chris?
Yeah, after
Taylor
30
was your
years.
first.
I'm like the 40-year-old virgin. Yeah.
Exactly.
Well, it damn sure wasn't the girl that he put out on the side of the road.
But yeah, we had the gender reveal. It turns out they're going to have a little boy. It's a guy I work with. Actually, I had a really great time. We rode a UTV all over this huge property. It was a lot of fun. And I didn't get to shoot guns, but there were guns and explosions involved. And fuck, how do you not have a good time, boys?
I wouldn't trust you to shoot a gun either. I've seen you shoot.
Didn't he beat you?
Steven?
No, yes.
No.
Yes.
No.
Yes.
No.
I like that narrative. Chris, how was your week?
I feel like he premature shot.
Oh, wait. Did he shoot faster? Yes. More accurately? No.
Okay, I gotcha. My week, it's been okay. It's all
Awesome.
right week.
Very descriptive.
No, I went somewhere. Yeah, I was in the hospital for a day. So
What?
that was fun.
Are you okay now? I mean, you've got another doctor's appointment coming up.
Yeah, I got a doctor's appointment this coming a week, and then a month later, I got to go to a cardiologist. So it is.
Is this for your little implant thing?
No, they thought I had a stroke, is what they thought.
You got to quit hanging out with Ashley.
But
No, but it wasn't.
That's
So
good.
That's all that matters.
have you still been having?
No, man, but my right eye won't stop like
Really?
like that. Yeah,
Shit.
Wow.
feel another one coming on.
Oh God. I had one just yesterday. Actually, I had
Did you?
a flutter. I hadn't had one in weeks, and I had one yesterday. After, of course, we had fast food. We went to Atlanta for the dance competition. On the way back, we stopped this place. Best food. It's Al. You'll love this. We had this restaurant called Frank's, and it's literally it's attached to a gas station. But you walk in there, and it's an Italian restaurant that has not changed since the 80s. I mean, it smells like it. It's just, I can't explain to you. I walked in, I literally looked around like, this is going to have the best food ever. And it fucking did. It was so good. I've never eaten there. My father-in-law knew about it. But I did. I think there was so much salt in the food afterwards. Like,
Yeah, I got you going.
it got my heart going.
Yeah.
So,
That's what mine was. It was just like a quick like flutter and then just breath going away. I was like,
Yeah, it
man.
sucks the
I was like,
breath
I
out
gotta
of
go
you.
get this checked on.
Yeah.
So, and then next thing I know, they're taking me to the hospital. I'm like, what?
Jesus.
Well, anyways.
Tucker, how was your week?
Usual stuff with work, but two notable things. My 12-year-old dog is at the vet's office. She's doing better.
Yep.
So we'll get her back.
Hashtag Piper Strong.
Absolutely.
You like
Hashtag
that?
Piper Strong. That was good, Chris. I'll give you that. And, they say bad things come in threes, and that was the start of the three things for me. So,
Then you looked in the mirror.
no. Well, then I hit a deer coming back from a wedding yesterday in my truck.
Ooh. Yeah.
Fortunately, didn't really do any damage. And then
Whatever. I was worried about mooses up there.
the third bad thing was I filled my truck up with gas today.
Oh, yeah.
That'll send you to the hospital with a heart attack. Yeah.
No shit.
What are gas prices for you guys up there?
They're pretty insane up here right now too. I mean, almost double what they were
And y'all do it, is it per liter?
Ukraine invasion.
Is it per,
Per liter, yeah. So right now
Liter
it's
cola.
around $1.70, $1.60, $1.70 a liter. I was out in BC and it was $2.10 a liter. So
Which one? Now,
it'll be about what 4 times that per gallon, right?
I thought there were about 3 liters to a gallon.
I don't know offhand.
yeah, it's maybe 3. So
That's
anyway,
still
yeah,
insanely high.
So you're looking at least $5 a gallon.
yeah, a gallon. Yeah.
Jeez.
Jesus.
Luckily, I drive a little Kia, so it doesn't. It cost me $60 to fill up from empty from my Kia.
Yeah, it's
Cost my wife $120 to fill up our Dodge Caravan.
Oh,
God.
shit. Yeah, for me this morning, it was
1 liter is or 1 gallon is 3.78 liters.
Okay,
so
it is
3.8
closer
liters.
to 4. You're
Close to
okay.
4, yeah.
I just put $20 in there and pretend like it's the old times.
There you go.
Yeah.
So-
Yeah, when I was a teenager, if you had $5, you threw it in and you could drive for a while.
No,
Yeah, exactly.
I had a Jeep and it was $10. I remember gas. The lowest I ever saw it was 69 cents, and this is like late 90s. 69 cents a
Yeah.
gallon. So I don't know what that'd be per liter, but I mean, I could fill up that Jeep for $10.
Yeah.
So when I bought my truck, I could fill it up from empty for about $36 to $38. Now it's, roughly 80.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Crazy.
So
Anyways,
Yeah.
anything else about your week?
no, I'm just hoping that if bad things come in threes, then I'm done for a little while.
Sounds good. Al, you want to share anything with us about your week? Since listeners don't know you, or excuse me, the listener doesn't know you.
Listener,
The one.
Well, before I talk about my week, I just want to say fuck you, Trey. Great week.
We should keep track of that. That's number 2.
You got something to write
Is it
on?
only
I
2?
do.
I really wanted to be up to in the dozens already. Anyway, busy week with work, and then Friday night we had our Letterkenny Ladies Night. So we actually had an episode of our podcast where only our female listeners were on, and my wife hosted it, and that was her first time hosting, and I had to sit back here quietly in the corner, and it was really, really difficult for me to do and not say anything. But it was fun. There's a lot of uncomfortable talk, and as you would expect, I think. We got through it. And the only way I could ever get them to shut up is by playing a sound effect on my soundboard. And I don't think they really appreciated that.
What sound effect was that, Al?
So you could
I
have
use
been
a
on
few.
there. You could have been on there
What?
because they're assuming your gender. You could have been on there.
Oh, well,
just
they are.
saying.
But my wife, my heterosexual life partner, is hosting. So, I think they assumed right. Anyway, it was fun and actually getting a lot of good feedback from it. So that's great. And then today, and then we had some friends over for the weekend, and that was a lot of fun. We played some cards and drank some beer. Yes, we played euchre. Stephen, I know you're waiting to talk about that. And then today, Tanya woke up. My wife
It's like
woke up.
super
and
old people game.
It's not an old people game. Up here we played it a lot in college, and
Really?
it's kind of Well, in Letterkenny, you know how they play a lot of cribbage.
Cribbage, yeah.
That's kind of like Southern Ontario. In my part of the province, we played a lot of euchre.
Cribbage
So
is
that's
old
our
people game.
That's our game. What's that?
Cribbage is old people's game.
Bridge. Yeah,
No,
that's right.
crib. He's talking about cribbage.
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 Yeah, it's old.
So you play it.
Yeah.
I invented it. What are you
I was gonna say
talking
Chris
about?
invented it.
Well, he actually helped invent it. And then this morning I woke up and my wife, she's got like a major case of sciatica. She couldn't even get out of bed.
Oh.
I thought we were going to have to take her to the hospital and stuff. So hopefully this doesn't happen. But if my kids burst in because Tanya
No
needs
worries.
to needs me to get her something, I may have to.
Man,
sneak
she's
out
had
real
it.
quick.
She's had it rough here recently. The skin thing and
Yeah,
this.
yeah, she's not having fun.
Hey, sciatica, man, we got something that can fix that.
What's that?
That's that roller coaster in my backyard, the little thing.
Oh yeah, dude. So
That was straight up fix
Have you
it.
ever seen those the Playmobil roller coasters? It's literally like 3 feet tall, and the kids will sit in and you roll down, and it just goes
Yeah.
into the grass. So we were
Hold my beer moment.
big shock. We were drinking together one night, and it was one.
All
of,
best stories start with those words.
well,
We were
Tucker
drinking.
wanted to try to surf it, and we as funny as that would have been, I didn't want to go to a hospital that night.
Sure, yeah.
So and he thought he'd figured out the physics of this, which would have been hilarious to watch his big ass fly off the top of this thing.
I still say I could have done it.
And explain that to your boss when you can't come into work because you've
broken arm,
walking
dislocated
yourself.
shoulder, broken
I can
femur.
do light duty.
As long as he can sit in a desk, that's all that matters.
That's all he does,
There you go.
anyways. So, anyways, Chris decided to go down this thing, and he sits on it, but he wants me to push him. And so I was like, all right, and I'm not gonna, I'm gonna push him. I want to see this thing go. So I just push him. He hits the bottom.
No, it digs into the ground.
That's
yeah.
right.
Was it?
Yeah.
The front
end just
the front end
digs
dug
right
in
into the ground, yeah.
And he was having sciatica back problems. This thing hit and he slammed on his butt and his tailbone, but he hadn't had back problems since then.
Nah.
Really?
Yeah.
All right.
So I mean, I'm just throwing that out there for Tanya to try.
Yeah,
Yeah.
get an old rinky-dink plastic roller coaster for a 2-year-old and
Did y'all,
have fun.
where did y'all find that? At Dirt Cheap?
No, Maddie and them had it at their place,
okay, yeah.
and they bought it over because they didn't have any room where they were, because they were in between buying a new house, and so they were living somewhere they couldn't keep it at, so they kept it at our house.
Gotcha. Al, anything else about your week, bud? Everything else okay?
Yeah, everything else
Just
great. Things are warming up here. We're finally getting some nice weather. Hopefully it sticks. And yeah, looking forward to spring.
Are y'all still? I know you went west for your job
for work.
recently, but are y'all still remote?
Oh yeah, yes, I am. And I mean, I don't think I'll be going back into the office anytime soon. And maybe when I do, it'll only be once a week.
Nice,
which is great because gas is too bloody expensive anyway. They'd have to give me a raise to get me back in the office.
That's fair. That's the one thing. I love my job, but I mean, my job is driving around everywhere, and I have to go show properties. And I mean, we get a stipend every month, but it's not going as far as it used to.
Well, you got to do what the real estate agents do up here, Stephen, and get yourself a Tesla. They all that seems to be like the official car of real estate agents.
You're not wrong. I would love to have a Tesla. I've read they're great cars and everything, but unfortunately, I just bought that big ass truck.
Yeah,
kind of went the opposite direction.
I was going to say you went the other way.
I went the other way. I do want a Tesla, but the problem is, honestly, I don't have a garage at my house, and so I don't know where to put the charging station and all that stuff. And
You can get the Tesla over here.
yeah, not going to happen.
Just leave the keys.
One day, I'll get the Tesla. So, all right, moving on. We got a little bit of fan mail we'll go to also. Aren't you excited, Tucker? Fan mail.
Fuck you.
Of course, it's from Marcus. All right, here we go.
Would you rather?
Yeah, we've got some would you rathers. Al, you get to participate in would you
I'm
rather.
sorry, Al.
Yeah.
Well,
I may plead the fifth on this.
that's fair. Just as if we're talking about banging Tucker's sister, we can find a picture. She is pretty hot.
Oh, okay, I'll take your word
It's
for it.
right there, isn't it?
Oh
Picturing
yeah.
Tucker with long hair, maybe.
No. She got all the
Why
looks.
don't we put her in Trey's seat?
Go grab her. Which one is she? Is
There's
that? Oh, that's
not
her on the end, on it, isn't
Yeah.
it?
No, that's not Susanna.
Oh, is it not? Well, let's
She
put
just,
her there.
she just had a
anyways.
baby, so she's got that extra daddy stitch now.
Well, let's put her there anyways, whoever she is.
All right, just to share some fun news about me, like no one is going to care, but I'm going to my first blot now on March 22nd. I don't know what that is. I'm super excited about that. Don't worry, Tucker. I will pray to the gods that they can grant you the gift of unclear hair. Stephen, I will pray that you can grow a couple more inches so you don't have to use a stepladder when you're licking ass. Jesus Christ, Marcus.
Okay.
Okay, here we go. Would you rather? Oh, God. Would you rather have pubic hair for teeth or teeth for pubic hair? That is so disgusting. Oh, my God. I feel more embarrassed that Al is here and has to witness this.
You know what? I have the answer to that, and the reason for it too. I'm gonna go with teeth for pubic hair because have you ever gotten a hair stuck in your mouth?
Exactly.
Now I can imagine that with
Everything. Yeah, no, I'm with you. Teeth. Oh, God.
Yeah, but imagine between your ass, though. Wait,
Maybe
y'all
they'd be
have-
tiny little baby teeth.
That's even worse.
just feel like corn.
Oh, Jesus. Al, what, you got to say on this one?
I'll go with Tucker. I guess
Teeth. Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, my God.
I just want
Just
to know
look
where
like
the
it.
fuck Marcus comes up with this stuff.
I don't know.
Can you imagine, like, just picking your arm up and down? There could be, like, somebody, like, who's clearing their teeth all the time?
All right. Next one. Lick a smelly man's armpit or chew on his rotten toenail. God, that is disgusting, Marcus.
Yeah, I'm just licking armpit. I'm just
Yeah, I
gonna
think
go
I
and
have to
say
go
it.
armpit.
Yeah. I mean, neither, but
Yeah, neither, but. Al, you got an answer on that one?
for the sake of choosing armpit,
Yeah, I guess. I mean, as long as I have like something I can drink to get rid of that taste afterwards.
fuck that. I
Lots of
want
beer.
mouthwash.
Yeah.
You can use your,
Yeah, exactly.
Pure,
Maybe a lot. Maybe alcohol
Yeah.
before and then mouthwash after.
A little
There you go.
pure grain alcohol,
Yeah.
lick, and then pure grain
you
alcohol.
can use your pubic hair teeth to brush it off.
Oh, God. Okay. Let's see. This is kind of weird. Find out that the universe was created a couple of days ago and all your memory and knowledge is fake. Or find out you're in a coma right now and that this mail message is from your doctor using advanced technology to wake you up.
That's a great premise for a movie. I'd
Yeah,
go
it
with
really
that one.
is. I like that.
I'm going to go with the fake, man. I think that'd be just like mind blowing.
That the universe was just created a couple of days ago and everything before this was fake?
Yeah.
That'd be kind of cool. I mean, I'm still here, so
I mean,
Yeah.
yeah, sure.
I like that
I
one.
don't know how to answer that one.
So you predated the universe.
Or at least
I'm good living in a dream state.
yeah, you'd stay in the coma.
Yeah.
Maybe then, what was that movie? Did you ever see Vanilla Sky? Tom Cruise?
Yeah. Yeah.
That'd be kind of, I mean, you can kind of
Messed
create
up.
your own. Yeah, very twisted, but very good. I thought it was a really good movie, honestly. I thought it was fun.
If you can master lucid dreaming, I mean, imagine that. You can do whatever you want in your dream. You
That
can
would be-
whoever, look
exactly.
however you want. That'd be great.
You could fly. You could be like Superman or Spider-Man or something.
But
was
would
the-
you
what
wouldn't you
was the
sit there
movie
the
where
whole time
they-
being like trying to yell yourself awake in your dream state? You'd be like, wake up.
What was the movie where they would like go into dreams and they had little totems to get back to reality?
Oh,
Oh goddamn!
Who was
Inception.
Christopher
Inception.
Nolan. Yeah, Inception. That was that was a weird. It was good, but it was like,
It was multiple layers.
yeah. Al, did you see that one?
Yes, I did.
Yeah, I like that one. That was a good one. All right, last one, and then we'll move on. All right, here we go. Would you rather get diarrhea every time you laugh or throw up every time someone says your name?
I'd do the
Oh,
diarrhea.
Dude, what?
Would you rather get diarrhea every time you laugh or throw up every time someone says your name?
I'm gonna go with the diarrhea.
Yeah, you can wear a diaper.
I guess so. All right,
No, I'd go with the name because you can just tell people to call you something else.
that's fair.
That's a workaround. That's a workaround.
Call me Wayne. Don't call me Steven.
What would happen if somebody just says
no,
like you're
'cause-
watching a movie or something,
In the movie, and they say,
and they say like Steven, you're like in the movie theater, they're like
Yeah,
Steven.
but are they talking to you, or are they talking about
Said every time
think
somebody
we're-
said your name.
we're putting too much premise on this scenario here.
You're putting a whole lot of thought into this.
All right. If you want to send us an email that I can read poorly, you can send it to theguysreviewpod@gmail.com. If you want to make fun of us in real time, you can go on our Twitter DM group and make fun of us at @the_guysreview. And moving on, we are going to do Goon. Y'all ready? Cool.
Yep.
All right. Like I said, originally this was Trey's pick. He was supposed to do this, but since he's not here today, I'm going to have to do the synopsis and everything. So, Goon was written by Michael Dowles. Directed by Michael Dowles. Written by Jay Baruchel and Evan Goldberg and Adam Frastadio. Fratas. Oh God, I hate this last name. Anyways, stars Sean William Scott, Jay Baruchel, Allison Pill, Eugene Levy, and Liv Schreiber. Was Sean William Scott? I didn't even look. Is he Canadian as well? I don't think so. It was released on February 26, 2012, on a budget of $12 million, which is $14.8 million in 2022. Box office haul worldwide was $7 million, which is $8.6 million in 2022. So, yeah, lost money. Ratings, IMDb gets it a 6.8 out of 10. Rotten Tomatoes has it at an 81. Metacritic, 64%. Google users.
Okay, wait a minute. Do people up in Canada use Google? Do y'all use Google up there?
Well, we use Google.a.
Okay, I wonder if that's going to be the same.
I'm going to assume it's probably going to be the same.
Because there's a reason.
There's a
For my
reason.
voting, yeah.
Okay.
Well,
I'm going to go with an 84.
Okay.
I'll go 86.
They're bastard.
Al, you got a guess on what percentage of Google users gave this? Or I guess I don't know. They get what percentage of Google users gave it?
Hate it or what?
They
The rating.
grade it. Yeah.
Oh, grade it.
Yeah.
I don't know. Probably somewhere in the 70s.
And you said
84.
it's 83.
So
Oh, wow.
71.
Yeah.
Closest without going over.
Now, I meant to say also, Marcus also did the research for me this week again. So, and it says right here that he wants me to read this in ye old English. As my Lord Sire Tucker, the wanker second Earl of Wessex, commands, here is thine award, sire.
Damn straight.
And you get there's a ton of them actually. A winner of Canadian Comedy Awards in
Hey,
2013.
I'm just glad Marcus is taking this seriously and he knows who the boss is.
Yeah, right. Nominee of a Canadian Screen Award, Central Ohio Film Critics Association in 2013, Directors Guild of Canada 2012, Toronto Film Critics Association, Vancouver Film Critics Circle 2013, a nominee. And yeah, so it looks like they got nominated, but I think the only one they won was that first one that I mentioned,
really?
the Canadian Comedy Awards in 2013.
Okay.
So
I'm laughing because beforehand we were talking about, I was like, I bet this was up for a lot of Canadian awards.
all right, first time you saw
But-
the movie. But
First time I saw it
yeah.
a couple of days ago.
First time for me was yesterday.
Yeah, same.
Al, first time you saw it?
Probably last year, actually.
Really?
It was one of those pandemic watches, that one of those movies that I always had on my list to watch and never got around to it, and then I had time. So
There you go. Fair enough. Have you seen the second one as well?
no, I haven't seen the second one yet, but then I recently, for tonight, I watched it again like a few days ago. But
Gotcha.
yeah, first
Gotcha.
time was
Awesome.
like last year.
Great.
I will say this about it. We were talking about earlier that this was like towards after American Pie.
Let's wait until we
and-
get into it.
This was after American Pie and all that.
Or
so
not.
this
Yeah.
is no. I'm just explaining why I didn't watch it for a while. Is because I thought that it was probably going to be like another
Stifler?
one. Yeah, exactly. So that's the reason
that's
why. Like,
fair.
when I
It's-
saw it, I was like, "Nah, this is probably another one of his movies."
It's hard to see Sean William Scott not go immediately to Stifler, and that's who
Yeah.
he's going to be.
Yeah, because I remember
fair.
seeing it and I was like, "I'm gonna watch that." Then I was like, after watching "Dude, Where's My Car," I was like, "No, I don't think I'm gonna watch that."
Well, Dude, Where's My Car was fucking horrible. And
No, I hated that. It was one of my least favorite movies. Yeah.
It
thank
had,
you.
it had some funny parts in it.
And then
Every funny part that was in the movie was shown in the fucking preview.
still quotable.
What is it? Dude, what's
Sweet.
mine's? What? Sweet. What about mine? Dude. That was so stupid.
So
and the funny
stupid,
thing
it
is,
was
like,
funny.
I've never been a stoner, and so, but I still thought that was a funny movie. There's a lot of stoner movies I don't like, but I actually like that one. I don't know why, for not being a stoner. Okay, here we go. Moving into the movie plot. Doug Glatt, Sean William Scott, is a bouncer at a bar in Massachusetts. He feels ostracized from society, especially since his father and brother are both successful physicians. Doug attends a minor league hockey game with his best friend Pat, which is played by Jay Baruchel. Pat taunts the visiting team during a fight, and one of their players climbs into the stands, calling him a homosexual slur. Doug, whose brother is gay, steps in and easily beats up the opposing player as Pat films him, and then the video is being played on Pat's hockey show, prompting the coach of the team to call and tell Doug to come try out as an enforcer. Meanwhile, the veteran enforcer and Doug's idol, Ross the Boss Ray, is demoted to the minors after serving a 20-game suspension for slashing an opponent in the head from behind. 3 years prior, Ray hit and concussed the highly skilled prospect Xavier Laflamme, who has had trouble recovering from the incident due to the fear of being hit, resulting in his being stuck in the minors. So, first little bit. Anyone?
I mean, Al, you want to open us up, sir? Hey, he's the guest.
Well, first of all, like what I forgot about the first time I watched this was that I guess this is loosely based on an actual person. So that was
Based on a book.
or is based on a book, but the book is based on somebody.
Yes, correct. Yes, sir.
Because at the end of the movie, and I don't want to, I mean, it's not a spoiler, but they actually show footage of the guy that this thing's based on. So that made it a little more interesting. It sets up the movie and it sets up the story. And it's interesting that one of the things I kind of wish they did with this character to make him more interesting, I wish they hadn't made him so stupid.
Yeah, I agree. Yeah, he is pretty dumb.
I'm a fan of the kind of the Happy Gilmores where they're not bright, but
they're not dense.
they're not that dense.
Yeah.
But they're lovable because they care. I mean, he cares about his brother and he's defending his brother and all that stuff. So those are all great story points. I just wish they didn't make him so dense. And because the funny thing is, in real life, usually the enforcer on the hockey team is actually one of the smarter guys on the team. For the most part, like in the NHL anyway. I guess when you get to the NHL, you're
Gotta be pretty smart anyways.
Yeah.
So I think it's interesting that you brought up Happy Gilmore, because there are some key differences there between the two. Like you said, in this movie, it doesn't seem like Doug really cares. He's just skating through
Just going along with things.
He's okay with the status quo. He's not trying to better himself. I mean, he's not trying. He's working in a bar and kicking people's asses.
Yeah.
Whereas you take the Happy Gilmore that he mentioned, and I mean, he loves his grandmother. He gives up whatever it is he's doing to try to become a professional, or gives up his dream of being a hockey player to play golf because his grandmother needs the money.
Yeah. But he was at least trying to better himself, when he goes into the pitching ball.
Yeah.
And he's taking the hits from the balls. But you're right. At least he didn't start in hockey until someone saw him beat the shit out of that guy.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah, so they could have made him a lot more interesting character, and maybe because maybe the person they're basing it on was kind of dim as well, I guess. But it's too bad because it could have been a more sympathetic hero for us to follow.
If he had more depth, you could connect more to him.
Yeah,
I feel like that's kind of the way that most movies try to portray enforcers. Is that
They're kind of dumb.
yeah? I mean, because look at even Mighty Ducks. You had the kid that was on the street that was like an enforcer on the team, and then you had what was that old movie from like the 70s or whatever? Paul
Newman.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, we just talked about this.
We had the two brothers were enforcers. Right?
Oh, the Hanson,
Hanson Brothers
Slapshot.
3.
Yeah.
Slapshot.
So, and they weren't, they portrayed them as not being so bright either.
That's true.
I just think I don't know why.
Because they're in their room playing like their suitcases were filled with toys, not clothes.
I get what you're saying though. Like, I mean, they've got to be some of the smarter ones out there because they got can't just automatically come out and just beat everybody up and be on the bench the whole time.
You got to know when to pick your battles.
Right, exactly.
I don't know if Al, have you ever watched? I tried Trailer Park Boys. Did you ever watch Trailer Park Boys?
I wasn't a fan.
Yeah, I was not either. But wasn't that them that was in when they went to the studio where Jay's show is? And they were showing the video. Wasn't that them that were the guys that were working the studio?
Yeah. So the guy who played, I always mix them up. One of them was in there. I can't remember if they were both in there, but they were.
It was the guy that was standing at the monitors. I couldn't tell if the two guys in the booth were the other.
Yeah. So a couple.
the sideburns.
Looks like a couple of the. I mean, it's Canada, right? So we love recycling our actors, and also I'm sure those
all
guys
7
are
of
all.
them.
Like Baruchel is probably buddies with all those guys.
That's fair. Just throw him a bone. I was surprised. I don't know why I was surprised. It was kind of like, oh, okay, the guys from the Trailer Park Boys are here.
So one thing,
Yeah,
too,
I think. Go ahead.
Did y'all notice Eugene Levy had a little part in there?
Yeah, very small part. Yeah.
Yeah, but he was the dad. He was.
Well, yeah, I know that. Yeah.
But I mean, he was throwback to American Pie.
Well, fair enough.
Yeah.
So
Well, again,
Yeah,
like
he
you
must
said-
have been in town when they needed to do that scene. And once again, he's Canadian. And Jay Baruchel probably said, "Hey, Eugene, I need somebody to come on." And I bet you, he didn't even charge like scale or whatever. He just said, "Yeah, sure, I'll come on," and that's it.
He's only got what, maybe 10 minutes of screen time.
Yeah,
It's
he's got
not
the
much.
scene
Maybe.
when they're coming out of
the church,
the church, and then at the when they're
at the hockey
at
game
the
at
restaurant
the
later on,
restaurant.
yeah.
Yeah.
Because he never shows up to one of the hockey games.
He does at the very end, the last one.
yeah.
Was he there at the
Yeah.
very end?
Yeah.
Okay.
Mom, the
'Cause
brother, mom, and dad.
he storms out. Actually, that scene's. I mean, when we get to it, that is more of a meaty scene because it kind of shows his disappointment of
Both of
the
his
main
kids.
character.
Yeah.
It wasn't
Yeah,
the
he
last game. It
gets
was
up
the
and-
next to last game.
Next to last.
Because
Game.
that's when he got
Gets
the
up
puck.
and storms out. Yeah.
Oh yeah, the puck.
Oh yeah, I do remember that.
Last thing I'll say, and we'll move on. I will say the fights though in this whole movie, they are very brutal and bloody.
Yeah. On purpose for sure. Yeah.
And I read something today that basically that part of it is, of course, they call it an Americanized type of violence, which I don't know how that would be Americanized, but I guess just because of the extreme of it, but also that part of this movie is a commentary on how much more violent apparently hockey is in America, North America, Canada, I guess included, compared to other places.
So Al,
And I don't know how true that is or not.
I think it's more violent, especially in the junior ranks too. Like if you go to a junior game here, maybe not now with all the concussion protocols and stuff, it's a little different. But in the NHL, like when there's like actual stakes involved, if you get into too many fights, you're going to penalize your team and you're going to lose the game. But in the junior games around here they used to be known for like all out brawls.
That's the whole reason you go. You go to watch
a lot of those
fights.
A lot of those players who are trying to get noticed, if they don't have talent, they're going to show their talent by beating the shit out of other players and hope to make the NHL that way, right?
So let me ask you this, because hockey is not a huge thing down here, and I do have a hockey story in just a minute, by the way.
Can't wait.
Right. So hockey's not big down here. I'm assuming it's more popular up there. Don't the players wear face shields, and they're not wearing open-faced helmets now?
Well, again, like things kind of evolve, right? Like I started watching hockey when they weren't even wearing helmets, and
Jesus,
that got grandfathered in, like kicking and screaming. The last player, I think, was Craig McTavish for Edmonton, who held out. He would not wear a helmet when everyone else around him did.
The fuck would you?
And then kind of in the 90s is when they started, players should really wear face shields. And actually, there was a Toronto Maple Leaf defenseman, Brian Berard, who basically lost an eye from a follow through of a slap shot, and a stick hit him and sliced his eye. And even then, the guy came back and played again, and still didn't, like, he wore a visor when he first came back, but he removed it right away. There's like a macho thing among players, but also it's kind of what happens with any time any kind of safety protocol is introduced anywhere. When seatbelts came in, there were a lot of people who were kicking and screaming over that.
Yeah.
When, you know what I mean? The same thing in hockey. It's just a smaller kind of microcosm of that. It's like, oh, you guys should wear helmets. Helmets are for pussies. And then they wear helmets. You guys should put on visors. Visors are for pussies. And now most of them wear visors. But
I get what you're saying. I
Yeah.
get what you're saying. And they have, I guess that's across any sport too. Cause like NASCAR has a head and neck restraint. It's called a Hans system.
Yeah, I don't know a lot about racing, but when they introduced that, I remember, there were a lot of people
basically it keeps you from getting whiplash. Basically what killed Dale Earnhardt.
Yeah, I know.
When Dale Earnhardt had his wreck, there was only
Moment of silence for Dale.
Right? That's not blood on the plate. That's just a little bit of ketchup. Come over to plate, y'all.
Anyways, keep going.
So yeah, they didn't wear those a lot of guys weren't wearing the Han systems. I think out of 42 racers, like 6 of them were wearing them.
Yeah.
And Earnhardt wasn't. They said if he'd been wearing it, he might would have survived it.
Wow.
I remember watching a documentary on that.
Yeah.
Football's the same way. Football's greatly come a long way from the leather helmets.
You're
no
playing
helmets
days.
to leather helmets.
You're playing days.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, but imagine, so I don't know if you guys have ever felt or held a hockey puck.
They're hard as shit.
Yeah.
They're hard as shit, and they're frozen.
Yeah,
Like,
that's true.
When you
They're
help
on
one,
ice.
Yeah.
it's not frozen. They freeze them before they use them.
Oh, they
Now,
actually
there was a
do.
time-
Wait, they
Yeah.
really? I did not know that.
There was a time when goalies didn't fucking wear helmets or face shields.
That just
and the
doesn't-
first goalie.
That.
Yeah, the first goalie to wear one was called a pussy. So think about that, right? Like it's ridiculous because
that
now,
is-
of course, they're going to wear helmets. Of course, they're going to wear face shields and the such, right?
It's one thing to be a guy like on the ice flying around and you take a puck to the head, like that's
No, it's not.
that happens, whatever. But like the goalie, like you're in front of the thing they're hitting it towards, like I would be. Oh my god, that just
Well, it was a different time, right?
Yeah,
so
obviously.
technology made the slap shot much heavier. Curves on sticks, like before, it wasn't right to have a curved stick, because if you have a curved stick, you can lift the puck and you can raise the puck and shoot higher, right?
Mm-hmm.
So back then, when goalies weren't wearing face shields, if you took a shot and it was a raised shot, that was kind of poor form because the goalie is gonna get, like, goalies were stitched up all over their faces.
of course,
like,
yeah.
So let me ask you this:
Steven's taking a shot to the chin.
Ah,
Sorry.
oh man. Thank you for derailing that. Well done.
he got some lift on it too.
Yeah, he did.
I was impressed with myself. I mean, it's a good arc. What can I say?
Oh god damn! I can't remember what I was going to say now.
Yeah, it wasn't important.
Let's move on.
Chris just
I
threw
think
me.
it's time to move on.
All good, all good.
Oh, God. All right. After earning the nickname The Thug, Doug was hired by a farm team in Canada where LaFlame plays, the Halifax Highlanders, not to be confused with the Regina Rough Riders.
Look, there's only one Highlander, and he's Connor McLeod of the Clan.
To
McLeod.
protect LaFlame and be his roommate. The Highlanders experience success with Doug as their enforcer, and he quickly becomes popular among fans and teammates, much to the chagrin of his parents and LaFlame, who loses ice time and the alternate captaincy to Doug. Doug also becomes romantically involved with Eva, a hockey fan with a penchant for players, so a puck bunny. Let's see. With 4 games left in their schedule, the Highlanders need 2 wins to secure a playoff and a spot. On a road game in Quebec, after an opposing player concusses LaFlame with a heavy hit, Doug savagely beats the player unconscious and is suspended for the next game against Ray and the St. John's Shamrocks. I'm going to cut it there because, yeah, I've got a couple more.
Talk about Ava. That was the most awkward encounter ever, is between those two.
The first one?
All
of
the
them.
above.
All encounters with Eva.
Eva, yeah.
So the scene where they're at the coffee shop and he gives her all the gifts, and then the scene in the car where she kisses him, I guess, for the second time. and he's telling his little story. This was when it hit me. He was the band geek from American Pie in this movie.
Yeah.
I mean, because he's sitting there telling the story, and I'm just waiting for him to go, oh, and this one time at band camp? I mean, I just don't think they did his character justice in this movie.
No, and again, why would somebody like her be interested in him? I mean, okay, yes, she's a puck bunny.
Fair.
But he wasn't charming. I mean, unless she likes them dumb, like there was nothing charming about him except that he fawned all over her. So maybe that's right?
Apparently that's what it is. She likes the attention, but then the thing is, she spent all night flirting with him and everything, and then she just pulls back just when they kiss. But she says later on that she bangs a bunch of dudes apparently. So why not just go on with him? You know?
I don't know. When she's watching, well, this is later on, but whenever she's watching him in that one scene, and he's like just beating the crap out of somebody when she's on her bed watching them. She starts getting her rocks off on that one. She's like, oh my gosh.
Yeah.
So I don't know. Maybe she just likes the violent ones.
Here's a question I have. It seemed to me like when
Seems like she has daddy issues.
How many games did he play with the junior team before he got pulled up to the semi-pro team or whatever? I mean, it didn't seem like
that was a long or the shortest training. By the way, and I can't skate. I'm a bad Canadian. My parents were Portuguese. They never thought I needed to learn how to skate.
See, now if we had Trey here, he'd make fun of you for that.
I know enough.
Hey, we're only at 2, by the way.
I know. Fuck you, Trey. I know enough to know that the way he came on the ice that first time, there's no fucking way it only took like a few weeks to get him to power skate the way he was. I mean, not that he's much better later, but he was better than he was when he first started. Anyway, that whole training thing was just kind of unbelievable.
Yeah. So I will say going from figure skates to like hockey skates, that would help.
2 different worlds.
It is, but your ankles.
So there's I know, like if you guys are ever interested in having a laugh, there was a reality show kind of like Dancing with the Stars on ice up in Canada called Blades of Glory, I think it was, or no, Blades of Steel. I forget what it was called. But basically,
that was a good movie, Blades of Glory.
I think it was called. Oh man, I forget what it's called now. I'd have to look it up. CBC ice hockey players ice dancing. That's all that you have to look up. And they paired figure skaters with hockey players, but the hockey players they brought on, a lot of them were goons. A lot of them were like the tough guys, right?
Yeah,
which was hilarious then to watch. And the biggest thing they had an issue with were toe picks, because figure skates have toe picks so that they can launch themselves into whatever these spins are, right? Hockey players don't have that. So if they're not careful, they could be going full tilt, hit a toe pick, and go for a tumble.
Ass over end.
Yeah, basically. And it was hilarious to watch these big kind of, goony players grapple. And some of them just said, fuck the figure skates, and they just use hockey skates and learn how to deal with that, right? Because all they basically had to do was toss these female figure skaters in the air and catch them and do a couple of like fancy footwork, because
spins and whatnot.
They're not expected to be like good figure skaters, but it was hilarious. It was hilarious to watch.
That's one thing I actually I know I'm gonna take a ribbing for this, but so I took skating lessons when I was younger. Took ice skating lessons, and we, of course, at that time, they didn't do hockey skates. They had just the leather figure skating lessons.
Is that how you tried to make your dad proud to be an athlete?
Yeah, that was it. I to be honest with you, I don't even remember why I started doing it. I did it with a buddy of mine, my buddy Jason, and he was doing it, and like he was like, "Hey, you should come do this." And I mean, I love to ice skate, so why not? I had my birthday at the ice rink 2 or 3 times in a row. I think they tore down the skating rink, so it went to the ice rink. But that's the one thing I never learned how to do, the spin. We never got that far. I only did it for like 3 years, so it was fun, I guess.
Did your dad love you after you got finished with your figure skating?
My
career?
dad still loves me. He still does, even despite that. I'm sure I know there's another joke in there somewhere, but I'm not gonna mind for that one. So the conversation when they're in the bar, and I think, was it when he was leaving? I'm trying to remember when they were talking about signing his dick. Do y'all remember that?
Vaguely, yeah.
Oh my God, I was like, I'll do it.
Yeah.
That was such a weird, like, I know it was the 2 Russian dudes.
Yeah, that was after the win.
Was it after the win?
Yeah.
But I just remember, I'm sitting here going like, who even comes up with it? Like, even just writing it, like, how do you even come up with that scenario of like...
And then they offered to sign his dick. Yes, we are going with that.
I found it hilarious, but I also just found it, just
Those two guys
so
were hilarious.
The
period.
Russian
Those
guys
were great.
The Russian guys were the best ones.
Russian
I mean,
Ukrainian.
fuck Russia right now, but yeah, they were the
They're
best.
Ukrainian.
Oh, when they were face fucking the goalie's
The helmet, yes, with the guy's mom on it.
pretending it's his mom. Oh,
I tilted my screen down. I could hear what was going on because I had headphones on, but I'm like, I don't need anyone to see these guys like face fucking with all these like kids around. It was fun. But yeah, okay, cool. All right, let's move on. Doug encounters Ray at a diner where Ray dismisses Doug's claim that he is a hockey player, calling him a goon. Though Ray acknowledges Doug's physical prowess and gives Doug his respect, Ray warns him that if they ever met on the ice, he will lay him the fuck out. The Highlanders, with Doug suspended and LaFlame hospitalized, lose to the Shamrocks. Doug reaches out to LaFlame and promises him he'll always have his back on the ice. In their next game, the Highlanders lead 1-0 thanks to strong teamwork between Doug and LaFlame. In the final seconds, Doug blocks a slap shot with his face, and his ankle is injured in the ensuing scramble. The Highlanders win, but they need a win against Ray and the Shamrocks in their last game for the playoff spot. After 2 periods, the Shamrocks are beating the Highlanders 2-0. Ray and Doug drop the gloves in the third period. Doug is knocked down first, but Ray calls off the linesman and allows him to get back up. Doug manages to break Ray's nose, but breaks his previously injured ankle in the process. Doug manages to stand back up and knocks out Ray with a vicious left hook. Even his teammates help the seriously injured Doug off the ice, and LaFlame, inspired by Doug's effort and Ray's defeat, scores a natural hat trick, giving the Highlanders a 3-2 lead. As the game enters its final minute, the final scene has Ava comforting Doug in the locker room as he comments, "I think I nailed him."
Okay, I have to say, that's one of the funniest scenes in this movie is when he grabs a hold of the guy's jersey. And he just looks LaFlame right in the face, and he just kind of keeps punching him.
Oh, yeah.
He's just like looking him in the
fun.
face like,
Yeah.
da, 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 da.
Yeah.
So I want to talk about that diner scene for a second because I thought that was one of the, I guess, realest points in the movie where that interaction with Doug
parents
and Ross Ray or Ray.
Oh, that one. Oh, yeah.
Yeah, I thought that was one of the realest moments in the movie. I mean,
I agree.
they actually did a really good job with.
Nothing against
all the
Sean.
acting chops on that.
Nothing against Sean
Liv
Williams.
Schreiber, right? I mean,
Liv
he's an amazing
Schreiber.
actor.
Jesus,
Yeah, and,
he is incredible.
Yeah. So he's intense.
He is super intense.
I've never seen Ray Donovan, but watching him in this, and I know he's been in Wolverine, I know he's been in a bunch of shit, and I've seen him in stuff before, but watching this movie for some reason made me want to go back and start Ray Donovan.
He did, what was that movie about the Bielski brothers? You know, the guys, they were like Belgian in World War II, and they were like...
not Dunkirk.
No, it's not Dunkirk. Yeah, he was really good in that.
I know what
Yeah,
movie you're
he's
talking
a
about.
solid actor. It's actually, it kind of seemed out of place in this movie, but
I kind of
definitely.
agree. Like when I saw it, when I was watching the intro, I was like, Liv Schreiber's in this? Like,
Well, like I
Yeah,
said, and I'm not saying Sean William Scott is a bad
No,
actor, but he is you know what kind of role he's going to play most of the time. But that one scene, it to me, it showed off some depth to Sean William Scott that I hadn't seen before.
yeah.
And we said Liv Schreiber's awesome, which he was in that scene too. So I really appreciated that scene.
It goes back to Al's point from the very beginning that in that little bit of screen time, his character had more depth to him than the previous 45 minutes that we had with Sean William Scott's character. Granted, it finally showed him a little more depth, but just what Liv Schreiber did in that one scene, just.
Well, I think Sean William Scott was just smart enough to react to Schreiber in that scene. He wasn't doing too much except reacting, but he did well to kind of stay out of Schreiber's way. And
right.
And he basically, I don't know if you're SNL fans or not, but he basically played the role of Chad there. It's like, okay, like he just kind of sat there and took it.
Well, no, because he talked about when Schreiber says you're not a hockey player. And he's like, no, I'll do whatever I have to for my team. I'll bleed for my team. And then Schreiber turns around and steals his fucking speech in the next game.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So,
but what he was doing there, Sean, Doug Platt, what he was doing there, he was basically regurgitating everything that we're raised to learn about hockey players up here, right? And so when Schreiber was saying that on in the interview, to the audience, he wasn't taking it from Doug. He was saying what everyone's expecting him to say. He was basically doing the stereotypical hockey player speech.
Right.
Team comes first.
Got to give it 110%.
But
all that shit, yeah.
I guess what I'm saying here the difference is, to me, the way that it acted out on screen is Doug actually believed it.
Yeah.
And Schreiber's just
right. Exactly. Because he's the grizzled veteran. He's not
been through it all.
He's not still a wide-eyed, rookie.
He's cynical.
Change the world.
Yeah. I don't understand what happened. What happened between? How did that turn between Doug and LaFlame happen? They went from not liking each other. All of a sudden, he does have his back because I felt like Doug let LaFlame get the concussion.
He did,
and then beat the guy after because he had to, not because he was like upset by it.
I think
he beat the guy up because he was disappointed in himself. It was kind of interesting how they did that. So basically they had that fight in their hotel room, in the bedroom, and so yes, he let the guy pass him to hit LaFlame, but as soon as he saw that LaFlame got laid out and concussed,
he felt guilty about it.
He's like, what did I just do? I just went against everything I believe in. I put myself ahead of the team. If he was team first, he would have defended LaFlame whether or not he liked LaFlame.
True.
But the fact that he let the guy pass him to hit LaFlame and lay him out, that's when he's like, so he felt bad, or he felt guilty, and
that's when he promised he would always have his back afterwards.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay, I'm all right with that. I just that was kind of
the only thing I didn't buy, or it's not that I didn't buy it. I thought it was kind of a weak turn. So I believe
that was a very quick 180.
That's what I mean.
I believed Doug's turn because I feel like he felt guilty enough to see LaFlame lying on the ice. I didn't believe. I thought LaFlame's turn was a little too quick. Like he realize? Oh, that's right. I'd be killed if it wasn't for Doug. I need to rely on him and blah blah blah, and I need to try harder for the team because of him. I felt that was a little too quick. And
considering how cynical he's been for the whole film as well.
Yeah. I feel like there should have been at least one or two scenes inserted in there where he's coming to grips with what just happened.
Yeah.
Like maybe sitting in the dark room realizing, oh shit, I took advantage of this guy, and he's an idiot, but he's got my best interest.
He's my idiot.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Let's see. You got anything to add?
No, y'all did good.
Thanks.
Y'all did good.
Now, have you ever seen anyone take I'm sure you have seen someone take a puck to the face like that? I mean, it's going to fuck you up.
Yeah, it's going to mess you up. You're either going to have like a wired jaw, or you're going to at least lose all your teeth. It's not great.
That was rough to watch. I will say this though.
So what you're saying is you're not going to be playing the next game.
No.
Yeah.
That's here's the thing with hockey players, and the thing is maybe 20 or 30 years ago when they didn't have such great technology on the stick, and every shot isn't over 100 kilometers an hour or 100 miles an hour or whatever. There was probably a time where you could take a snapshot to the face and skate the next thing. But if it was like a full on Al McInnes slap shot, there's no way you're coming back next game. You're probably drinking through a straw for a while.
Yeah, you're going to be in concussion protocols, if not just having your jaw wired shut from having your everything from your nose down put back together.
Exactly. Your chiclets are all gone. Yeah.
But I guess that shows the heart of a professional athlete. Because how many times do you see players or athletes want to keep going when they're hurt and when they know they shouldn't? Hell, we had that with Auburn.
Yeah, our football team. Yeah.
So I get
injured quarterback who just stays in the game.
Yeah. So I guess I get the
fucks it up for us
wanting to stay in and help and be there for your team, but there comes a point where you have to realize I'm human and I'm not performing.
Yeah, I'm actually I'm hurting my team.
Yeah,
but at this point also he's already understood that this is it for me. I have no life after this.
Who?
No.
Doug or Ray?
Doug.
Yeah.
No, he's going to come back next. I feel like they ended it up to where he'll come back next season. He'll recover from his injuries.
I'm just saying, if he would have went out with the injury and couldn't play anymore for the season, let's just say some type of
he'd have been back the next
protocol.
year, though. I think he would. I think that
he's young enough.
I'm trying to get to the point that if they would have said no, he knows that would have been it for him.
Yeah, I mean, at some point, the goons are expendable, and especially, in that case, you're right, Chris. If he didn't come back for the next game, he probably wouldn't be called back the next year.
Really?
Probably not.
I mean, that I guess that's
Not in
his
the
job.
juniors, no. And I just saw recently
He could be seen as damaged
on
goods.
Twitter, I think there was like a NFL Columbine or something where a receiver was doing a drill, caught a ball and rolled an ankle and was rolling on the turf in pain, and no one cared. They just picked up the football and passed it on to the next guy. Like that's kind of the way it is in the for the people who are trying to make the pros, right? It's the next man up. It's
I mean, they're expendable, and they say that kind of pretty much at the beginning. Hey, your job is to go out there and beat the crap out of that guy.
I mean, the only reason
if
they
you can't
might
do
ask
that-
him back is because he did develop such a quick reputation of being the second toughest guy behind the Liev Schreiber character, right? So maybe he gained enough notoriety where if they didn't bring him back, the fans would be, would be pissed. But normally, especially a tough guy, if he goes down, he's probably not back next year.
It
So
was
he'll
a
just
good.
get replaced by the next tough guy.
So here's a question for you, and I don't know if you know this. I have no idea what hockey players make, but how much does a junior league hockey player make?
Not a lot. And they're like usually living with billet families because these are like 18-year-old kids, right? And they're not particularly educated either. Like hockey is, it's kind of like baseball in that, there isn't like the college or university system. There is now, but even still the regular track to the NHL still goes through like junior leagues and stuff like that, not through educational institutions. So a lot of these players are hick and poorly educated Canadian boys. The ones who are coming from overseas, they've got a bit more money because they can, right? They can be shipped overseas, stay with Canadian families, and their families are paying for it. Now, saying that, like the ones who are here too, they're not poor either because hockey is not a poor man's sport.
No,
you got to have money to have your kid in high level hockey. But they're in general, they're not super bright. And they're not getting paid a lot because the dream is the NHL.
So your colleges don't have like hockey teams?
They do, but that's not the roots of the NHL. If you're playing in Canadian college hockey or university hockey, you're doing it for your education. You're not doing it for the NHL because the NHL doesn't give a shit about Canadian college or university hockey. They're starting to care about
here.
They're starting to care about U.S. college hockey. Like St. Mary's.
Auburn has a hockey team actually.
Yeah, well, a lot of like American colleges. There's a lot of more players coming to the NHL from the American college system. But yeah, generally they're coming up through special schools here, like special academies, and it's kind of, from my understanding, it's kind of the baseball / basketball. Well, basketball, you do go to college, but even that, I feel like the NBA is starting to go away from the college and going through these academies, right?
Right.
That's kind of what hockey does.
Well, they usually do
go
a
through
one and done at college.
Yeah.
Basketball, you can actually go straight out of high school.
Yeah.
If you
Yeah.
if you're good
So
enough.
in hockey, these are basically kids who've graduated high school. They're going to a junior team somewhere in Canada, in some small city in Canada, and hoping to make the big leagues. College and university would just get in their way.
Wow, that's crazy.
I mean, that kind of happened with Major League Baseball. You get a lot of kids that will come out of high school
Straight out
and
of
go
high
straight
school.
into
Like
a farm league.
Yeah, like a AAA team,
Yeah.
or not even a AAA. But
We
yeah.
actually, Auburn had a, or I think he's still there, had a quarterback who was drafted out of high school to go play baseball. He went and played baseball for, I don't know, 5 or 6 years or something like
Yeah.
that.
I think he was a pitcher, right?
I can't remember what he was, honestly. Then decided, but he never, I don't think he ever made it to the majors.
He made.
No,
I
he
think he
made-
made it to AAA.
Yeah, he made AAA. He got recruited by Ole Miss. Is who he got recruited by.
Yeah.
And then he decided that he wanted to come back down. Well, at the time when he was being recruited, Ole Miss and Auburn were both, and that was when Freeze was there at Ole Miss, and then Freeze was gone. So his option was, well, I'll go to Auburn because that coach was recruiting me too at the same time.
Get
Never
his-
played.
get his education.
He ended up our backup quarterback at 28 years old or something like
something
that.
like
Like,
He was younger than that. He was 20. He went to play baseball at 19. Did that 5 or 6 years. He was 5 at the
Well,
oldest.
still, he was still one of the oldest
Oh,
guys
yeah.
on the team, if not in all the NCAA.
Look, I'm just saying. At this point, I'm almost 40 years old. I still got 4 years of eligibility left.
If
They
I
can get me.
I
out
wish
there.
I knew someone that could get you out there with somebody. I would love to see you take a lick from a defensive lineman.
No, I'd do it.
Oh my God, that would be the greatest thing ever.
You realize that my hobbies include beating the shit out of my friends and getting beat up by them in return.
And
No,
what?
your
Isn't
hobby is
there-
wrestling
wait,
with men.
What is that though? What hobby is that?
Oh my gosh, fuck you.
That's jujitsu.
Isn't there a football version of The Rookie? I thought, isn't there a football version of that movie?
There's what is that movie? The Expendable? No, the Replacements with Keanu Reeves.
Yeah, there was that one, but then there was the one.
Tucker's more like Little Giants. Don't know what that means. That's the first thing that pops in my head.
What are y'all talking about?
What is that movie? Is it
What movie?
You're talking about the one with
the
Keanu
Replacements.
with Mark Wahlberg where he walks home to the Philadelphia Eagles, right?
Yeah.
Oh
that one.
yeah. I know what you're
Son
talking
of a
about.
bitch, and I've seen that movie. It's actually pretty good,
Yeah, I know. What
Yeah.
you're talking about.
but I can't think of the name of it right now.
Yeah, but yeah, so you don't see a lot of those stories where like he's too old and he's going to make the NHL.
There actually is a new one that's coming out soon about the same thing. Guy who's, he I think he went through college and didn't make it, and so he's like working somewhere. I saw one preview for this, and then he gets pulled in, I think, to the Steelers. And I think this is in like the 60s or the 70s from what it looks like, and gets to play. It's based on a book, which is based on a true story. So it should be interesting. Hopefully, those are always good. Rudy type movies.
We should do Rudy at some point.
Definitely should do Rudy. I did like after their fight, after Ray and Doug fight, that when Ray's getting up, you see him smile when he's still on the ice. And I just thought that was like, I had a 50-50 thought of he's glad that, he went out swinging, or B, like, do you think he smiled like he threw it? Like he knew that he just ended his career?
I think that was a changing of the guard type moment.
Yeah.
I think
that's exactly what it was.
I think that I'm not going to say that he didn't give it his all, but he didn't get back up because he knew he was beat.
It's fair.
But I mean, you got to look too. There's probably 15 years difference in between those two. So,
But I mean, he had him beat through the whole thing, and he kept on saying to the ref, "He's not done. He's not done." So he was giving Sean William Scott character every opportunity to get back up and finish the fight.
Yep.
He didn't want special treatment from Sean Williams Scott. He wanted to win the fight fairly or lose it fairly, and I think that's kind of the smile is what that was. He's like, because the ref was trying to break it up. He's like, don't you dare. He's not done.
that's bullshit. That wouldn't
Which is
actually
crazy
happen,
because
right?
he was totally done. He was laying on the fucking ice with a broken ankle. Like he was done.
And like Tucker said, you can't wave off a ref like that.
They would have stopped that.
No, exactly. Yeah. So of course it's movie magic, right? It's because I don't like even
Creative
the strongest
license.
skater isn't going to get up on a broken ankle, 1 foot and a broken ankle, and finish a hockey fight against another guy who's supposedly the toughest guy in the league. So that's unbelievable.
Let's just hope that Ray never shows up to Letterkenny.
Yeah.
Last question I have. So when Ava tells him that she cheats on her boyfriend a lot of times, she bangs a bunch of dudes. What do you think? 36, 37 cocks?
In a row?
Oh, wow.
In a row. Sorry, I had to throw it back to Clerks there.
That's fine. I like it.
All right. Well, there you go. There's Goon.
I did think that I will say this since you mentioned that. I did think that the love scene or the love interest was very forced. Like it didn't make a lot of sense. They threw that in there.
Yeah.
Like
Like she spent the night with him and what they cuddled, it looked like.
Well, I don't think this was supposed to be a rom-com, so
No,
don't think we should invest that much into it.
you're right, but they could have. She did nothing for the movie. They could have left her out.
What was her name? The actress that plays
Allison Pill.
Allison Pill. I mean, she's a cute girl. I mean,
She is a cute girl, and I think that they either could have done
not to objectify, but
They either should have done more with that character or left her out completely.
I think
Because where she was, it was just awkward.
the issue with that relationship was more to do with they didn't really. Again, it was him. They
was
didn't
him,
develop
yeah.
him properly.
I agree with you
Yeah.
on this.
If he was more of a Happy Gilmore type person, where okay, he might not be the smartest guy, but he's very charming and he's very friendly and he cares about people. There's a reason for him to like him, but yeah, he gave her no reason to like him. He's dumb as a fucking doorknob. The only thing he fawned over her. That's the only thing that
that's what she liked. She
that's what
felt
she
like
liked.
it was almost like she was manipulating him.
I get what
Yeah.
you're saying about the whole, like, what was the point of having this in there? It's just like the same deal whenever he goes to visit his ex-boyfriend over there.
and gets
And gets-
lets him
And
beat
lets
his
him
ass.
lets him
And then
pound him.
nothing really comes out of that.
It doesn't change
it's
anything.
Nothing.
Yeah.
Yeah. It
I
didn't move the story anyway. It didn't do anything for the story at all.
I didn't feel like there was any resolution with that arc of the story.
Yeah.
She's just
Well,
there.
and I haven't seen Goons 2, so does she come back for Goons 2? I don't know.
I
I haven't seen it either.
No, I haven't.
I think Trey's seen it.
I think to me she was.
Fuck you, Trey.
Nice.
Hey, there we go. There's 4.
We're almost to a hat trick. I don't know if that's not hat trick. That
the
is
hat trick is 3.
hat trick's 3. My bad.
Yeah.
So we're at 1 1/3 hat trick.
One of the third.
But yeah, it just felt like she was wasted in that role, and it may be because of him. I'm not arguing that. It
Yeah.
just was a wasted role.
Fair enough.
Yeah, you're probably right. It didn't seem necessary
It could have been
to
it
the
could have
overall
been-
story.
Yeah, it could have been better if his character had been a little bit more had a little more depth and
Yeah.
maybe some self respect
Yeah.
and wasn't just like, oh, you're so great.
I fuck a lot of guys. I still love you.
So Al, I know you're a huge hockey fan, but how about you guys? Are any of y'all any of y'all ever get into hockey ever?
So I did years and years ago. I can't even remember when it was exactly. Probably 2005, 2006. I actually would go over to Columbus, Georgia. Al, that's like probably 40 miles from here.
Yeah.
Yeah, so
About a 45-minute drive. They had a little semi-pro farm.
They still do.
team or whatever. Yeah, it was the Columbus Cottonmouths. I would go over there every chance I could and watch the Cottonmouths play because $6 gets you rink-side seats.
We need to go. Maybe we
Nice.
can do an episode on
I'm,
that.
I'm like that. But there was one game I remember going to
Hockey
where they
teams
were
are so
playing
expensive.
some team out of, I think it was Tennessee,
Podcast.
and a fight broke out during warm-ups. It was one of the funniest things I've ever
Nice.
seen.
On the same team?
No. The Tennessee. So both teams don't warm up at the same time.
Okay.
So the visiting team was warming up first, and the home team came out to do their warm up. And I guess there was some bad blood from a previous game or whatever, because the Tennessee guys are going off the ice, the Cottonmouths are coming on the ice, and these two guys look at each other, and it's just.
Nice.
Yeah.
I went.
It's-
I'm
I
sorry.
mean, 3 players got ejected before the game even started. It was fucking hilarious.
It's why playoff hockey is the best hockey, though, because when you have the same team play each other multiple times, and it's best 4 out of 7 series, they develop a hate on for each other.
Yeah.
that is awesome because then you get all the scraps, you get the fights, you get just everything. It's awesome to watch.
I've only been to one hockey game. In Birmingham, they used to have the Birmingham Bulls, which was a hockey team, and a friend of mine his dad took us to this game. I don't remember if any fights broke out on the ice. What I do remember is there was a really drunk dude behind us, and he kept like screaming curse words and stuff. And my friend's dad was like, "Hey, shut up! I've got kids here," because we were like, I don't know, 8, 9, 10 years old.
Yeah.
And this guy was so drunk, and he spilled beer on us. And so his dad and this guy got into a fight in the stands,
Awesome.
and they had to have security come and throw the guy out. I don't remember anything about the hockey game. I don't even know
Okay.
who won, but I remember his
scene out of Canadian Bacon. If you've ever seen that movie, where
I hadn't
the
seen that
fight-
one. I've heard.
Fight breaks out in the stands because the John Candy character says Canadian beer sucks, and
He's not wrong.
hey,
oh,
them fighting words come down to Alabama and give you a stern warning, officer.
I was about to say, like, you're comparing like what Molson to Natty Light. I might choose Molson over Natty.
Okay.
Well, I wouldn't choose Molson though.
Molson versus Yingling.
Al's shown up with some pretty decent beers on some of our recordings
no.
before.
Yeah, I don't drink the Molson or Labatt. I drink mostly the local breweries and stuff because
That's the best.
I got respect for that.
Yeah, there's nothing wrong with that. All right, well, let's move out of this. I'll do the top 5 facts, and then Al, did you hear? I don't know if you've heard. We've got a new thing that we do, the triple Lindy. I guess you probably hadn't heard that one yet.
Do you know what the triple Lindy is?
I heard it on your last episode,
Okay.
but I kind of missed what the whole thing was.
I'll let me get through top 5 trivia, and then we'll do the
triple Indy.
I'll explain the triple Indy if I can get the thing to work. There it is. I've got really good sound effects. If you need another producer, let me know.
By the way, I can't hear any of your sound effects. Am I supposed to be able to hear them?
Oh, that sucks. I don't know. I thought
I'll
you'd
tell
be
you-
able to.
You can hear it tomorrow when the episode drops.
There you go.
It's not
Perfect.
really. They're not that great.
Here, I'll reenact it.
I've just given you license to play something.
But I reenacted it.
Oh God, I don't know why it's not working. I've got an audio out to you so you can hear us. That's strange. I don't know why. Oh well. Anyways, okay.
Okay.
Top 5 trivia. Number 1, Sean William Scott gained weight for the role of Doug Glatt, as well as taking intensive skating lessons and fighting on the ice. Number 2, a great majority of the cast is comprised of Canadian actors, including well-established actors like Jay Baruchel, Kim Coates, Alison Pill, and Eugene Levy. The only non-Canadian films in major roles are the Minnesota native Sean William Scott and New Yorker Liv Schreiber. Ironically, Baruchel plays an American character with a terrible Allie's from Massachusetts.
Massachusetts.
Yeah, close.
Yeah, close.
While Schreiber plays a Canadian character. His accent was
spot on.
It was terrible.
Spot
It
on.
was such a bad.
That's how I see it.
By the way, the black guy in the first hockey scene that Lee Schreiber picks a fight with, his name, he's a hockey player, or former hockey player. His name is Georges Larac, big tough guy and perfect guy for them to pick for that scene. And then later on, Sean William Scott fights him as well and thanks him after the fight. Remember?
Oh yeah.
Right? Yeah. So that guy there, Georges Larac, big tough guy. And he went on to be basically NHL sheriff for a while, the director of what is it? When for dealing out suspensions and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Ironically, he was a
fighter doing that.
Fighter, basically. Yeah.
That's nice.
But yeah.
Who's the hockey player that caught the lifetime ban for hitting another guy across I think it was the throat or something with a stick? It was NHL a few years ago.
I think it was Todd Bertuzzi, maybe. He wasn't with a stick. I think he punched a guy from behind, and I don't know. There's been a bunch of those. Yeah, I lose track.
He took his stick and with
the blade,
blade into the stick, hit a guy across the fucking throat with it.
Oof. In the movie, that's what Ray did it, but across the dude's head. So.
Yeah, but he did it to his throat.
All right. Number 3, the scene where Ray sheds crocodile tears during a press conference was a reference to NHL player Todd Bertuzzi.
There you go, Todd Bertuzzi. Yeah,
playing for the Vancouver Canucks at the time. Punched Colorado Avalanche's Steve Moore in the back of the head during the game, causing an injury that would end Moore's career. In a press conference afterwards, an emotional Bertuzzi tearfully apologized for the incident, which cost him a $500,000 salary deduction and a 17-month suspension. So there you go. So I did not read ahead. My apologies. Oh, Marcus did my trivia this week too, so that's why I didn't know. Appreciate that, Marcus. Oh my God, hold on, it just skipped on me. There we go. Number 4, Sean William Scott gained. Oh, well, I already did that part. Number 5, in an interview with hockey blog Puck Daddy, Liv Schreiber notes that he was inspired by former hockey enforcer Bob Probert. As an homage to the player, he taped his wrist for the film just as Probert had done when he played.
Yeah.
There you go.
Robert's a classic tough guy.
I think they even mentioned that in the Valentine's episode where.
He gets mentioned in Letterkenny for sure.
Yeah, for sure. All right,
legendary Detroit Red Wing.
Okay, so moving into the Triple Lindy.
Triple Lindy. Triple Lindy. Is that hard?
It's impossible.
It's impossible. Okay, so how this works is you pick a moment from the movie we just watched or anything that we're going to review. And you just you give it the triple ending because it's the most basically unbelievable. It's not real. Obviously, movie magic, creative license was taken. Fair enough. Does that make sense?
Yeah, I think I've already got mine. I think I've already said it, but anyway.
No, that's fine.
When he takes a puck to the face in the playoff game.
No, not that one. I was thinking more when he breaks his ankle, gets back up, and wins a fight against the other the toughest guy in the league. That's a little more.
I'm going to go with when he takes a puck to the face and then shows up for the next game because you're out for months. Yeah. He never would have had a chance to break his ankle because he never would have been in that position to begin with.
My triple Indy is going to go to the fact that he went from the junior to senior league or whatever. His league jump from first stepping onto the ice to that one in what, 3 games, it seems like? That's just...
I felt like that was several months.
Yeah, I think it was supposed to be an extended period of time. Yeah, but
I think it's supposed to be, but it felt really fast.
I think if they would have done an 80s montage,
they definitely needed
all corrected it.
They needed a little more montage. I could have used more montage.
They would have done that.
It's my triple Lindy to give out, okay?
I'm just saying, if they would have done that, it would have been more believable.
All right, what's your triple Lindy moment?
Well, we already kind of talked about this beforehand, but mine is the shot to the face and coming back.
Okay.
As soon as he did.
Never mind. Not going to say anything.
What?
Nothing.
You're the expert on shots to the face. Could you come back that fast?
Chin shot.
Interesting factoid there is when Chris first started watching hockey, they used cow patties as pucks.
We got plenty of them down here in Bama.
Just a curved stick.
What?
And I'm not. That's not a joke about Alabama. That's what they actually originally used were cow patties as pucks.
Are you?
Yeah, frozen cow patties.
I mean, yeah, it freezes
like
up.
1800s hockey. Yeah.
I'm assuming they got the mushrooms from out from underneath it first and did that.
Well,
Then
you got to get rid of the mushrooms first.
yeah.
All right. So
I actually did not know that. That is incredible and terrible at the same time.
gross.
It could be an urban legend, but that's what I was growing up. That was
I like
taught
it.
growing up.
No, I like it.
I wonder if they took them and like shaped them first.
So ratings and reviews.
Ratings and reviews. Chris,
All right.
you want to go first?
Me? I can go first?
Yeah,
Yeah.
you're supposed to.
Okay, so here's my thing.
Oldest first.
Oh, wow.
Al, and you know, understand how the scoring system works. It's a reverse scale. So 1 beer is good because you only need 1 beer to get through it. 5 beers, it's terrible. Don't ever want to watch
You
it.
can give it, if it's a perfect, you can give it 0 beers. That's up to you. It's your score.
Yep.
So here's my thing.
It's a little more complicated than your 3-step system. But
Like I said, first initially I wasn't going to watch this. Probably would never watch this if it wasn't for Trey.
I agree. I had the same thing.
And this would never cross my mind to watch. And going into it, I thought that, William Scott, whatever, the 3 first name guy.
Yeah, Sean Williams.
Today, Junior!
I thought for sure that there was going to be another one of those type of movies. But I'm actually pleasantly surprised by how much of a different role he played. He came off as that character and all. And he did good portray. It was funny. It had so many funny parts. The part where he punched in the face, the girl sitting in the stand that was like throwing thumbs up when he was about to get ready to pound that guy. That was hilarious. Surprisingly, I'm going to give this a 2.
Nice.
That's okay.
Wow.
Okay. Did you go next, or is it me?
Go ahead.
Okay. I'm going to mirror a lot of what you said, Chris. It's a fun movie. Yeah, Sean William Scott plays the dummy, and that's always it sucks that you don't see growth really. I mean, there is some a little bit maybe, but it's just it's not fun to watch him fawn over the girl. But I think it's just keep it simple, stupid, and it's a simple, stupid character. He fawns over the girl. He fights for his people. When he lets himself down, he tries to make it right, whether it be beating the shit out of that guy or letting the boyfriend beat the shit out of him because he had sex with his girlfriend. So
Or they just.
Oh yeah, we forgot about to talk about that scene.
Yeah.
That was a great
but
scene.
it was. I mean, it was really funny. But at the same time, we did kind of mention it because, like you said, I think Tucker said, it doesn't really add anything. But it's just showing the character's character, obviously. So it was definitely more fun than I thought it was going to be, and I enjoyed it. I'm going to go with you, Chris. I'm going to give it 2 beers too. I had a lot of fun with it. Tucker?
Yeah, so never saw this movie before, never even heard of it before. It had funny parts there, but the funny parts did not equal up to what I would consider to be a good movie. The characters were one-dimensional. The laughs were yuck laughs for the most part. I mean, it was entertaining, and I'm glad I watched it, but it's not one that I would ever go back and rewatch. This movie's average, maybe a little worse, so I got to give it 3 beers.
Fair enough. Okay. Al?
Right. So I mean, I'm with you guys. It's a fun movie. It's it's not a deep movie. I really feel like Sean William Scott could have done more if he was given more to do with that character, because I think he was really physically he was perfect for the role.
Yes, I agree.
Physically, he was perfect for the role, and I think it looked like he put in the work in order to look like a Goon hockey player. And I think they made a great selection. We didn't even talk about Kim Coates playing the coach, which I'm a big fan of his from Sons of Anarchy. And
hell yeah, I didn't even think about that.
Yeah, so
Never
he was in this, and he did a great job as the coach. I love all the little hockey tropes. I not stepping on the team logo and all that stuff that maybe some might not understand if you don't know hockey or watch Letterkenny.
There you go.
But yeah, it's a very surface level film, and if they had done a bit better, at developing the Sean William Scott character, I'd give it a higher rating. But I think 3 is probably fair because it was fun. It's a fun movie. I don't need to have a bunch of beer to watch this movie again.
Right.
but it could have been more. It could have been a lot better. And the hockey scenes were well shot. The fight scenes were brutal and bloody and awesome. And a great cast. Like Liev Schreiber's great in it, and Eugene Levy in it. I mean, you can't. It's a great cast. And even Jay Baruchel in small doses. I think Tucker. I know
that right there.
Right? I think you'd agree with that. Yeah, it's great. So
Nice.
3.
Perfect. All right. Tucker?
So that adding up everybody's scores comes out to an average of 2.5, meaning this movie is right down the middle, which I think
that's fair.
I think that's where it belongs.
I'm okay with it.
Yeah.
Nice. Top 5. Is this going to touch anyone's top 5?
Nope.
Not even close.
Al, I'm not going to ask for your top 5 because I really don't even know how we do a top 5. I don't know if we're doing our top 5 favorite episodes.
I do about my favorite episode.
Favorite episode?
Yeah. I like this episode. It's a good episode, but no. I mean,
Well, you guys reviewed my favorite movie of all time, and that's Grosse Pointe Blank. So I appreciate that.
I wish I knew how to had done this before then and had you on for that.
Yeah, it's all good.
Well,
I love that movie.
what's your second favorite movie of all time?
That's tough. I mean, because it depends on my mood, right? Like I know that there's this like film ranking site that you can go to, and it's called Flickchart, I think, and you can kind of rank the movies you've watched, and it gives you what your top 10 movies are. And I think my number 2 movie might be Groundhog Day.
Nice.
That's a good one.
Good choice.
Yeah, and I think like my top 5 might have like The Wrestler in there, the Mickey Rourke wrestler, which I love. Like I was a big fan of wrestling in the 80s, and and then Ghostbusters and all those 80s movies I loved, like Back to the Future and that kind of stuff.
Well, we'll give you a turn one time. You can pick a movie and have you come on and do this again if you want to, and we'll do your movie instead of just doing the Canadian angle on it.
Sure, I'd love that. Yeah, a lot of fun tonight, guys. Thank you very much.
I appreciate it.
Hey, thanks.
All right, so next week, Tucker, it's your turn.
I think I have it figured out, and because the Masters are coming up, and I like golf, we're gonna do Happy Gilmore.
Happy Gilmore. All right,
So
that'll be fun.
Yes, sir.
Al, if you're free, we'd love to have you come back on for that one. Since we
Oh man, I'd love to. When's that? Next weekend?
Next
I don't
weekend.
know. I'll have to.
I mean, if you're cool,
I'm
with
totally
it,
fine with it. If he wants to come back on, if you got the time out, it's Tucker's. I'm trying to give them a little more, control and everything.
Well,
I love Happy Gilmore, but if you'd gone Tin Cup, I would have been 100% in on that one.
That's a good one.
That's
too.
a great one too. Yeah,
Is that the one? Which one is that?
that's Don
Billy
Johnson and
What's Kevin Costner? No. Yeah.
Kevin Costner.
Costner, isn't it? Yeah.
I don't think I've seen
and
that
Renee
one.
Russo.
Yeah.
Oh, and Cheech Marin.
I don't think I've seen that one.
You've never seen Tin Cup?
Nope.
I highly recommend that.
Okay.
Al, I'll tell you what, I'll do that one at some point in the future. But like I said, the Masters is coming up. You got you got the Green Jacket coming up, which Gold Jacket and Happy Gilmore.
And it's an Adam Sandler movie.
I'm okay with that.
I'm okay with that.
I think we've done a good
And,
job.
and you got Richard Kiley as the construction foreman that gets shot in the head with a nail gun.
Oh yeah.
Jaws.
And I will see you in the parking lot after the game. Yeah. That was great.
Let me know if you have time. That'd be great. If not, I understand. No worries. Just whatever you can do. Cool.
I love that. I love me some Happy Gilmore. Yeah.
Perfect. Great.
That's
And if Trey, fuck you, Trey. If he's to be on for that one, fuck you, Trey. Maybe
Two more.
6.
I had to get to half a dozen before I left.
Let's see how many. Let's see. Yeah, we can see if he's actually running off because of you. Because if he doesn't show up next week, then if he comes up with an excuse, we know it's Al.
I'm surprised he didn't send in somebody a text message.
I'm kind of surprised he hadn't sent a text message also. All right. Well, you can find us on the web at theguysreview.simplecast.com. You can email us anything and I will read it poorly at theguysreviewpod@gmail.com. Instagram at theguysreviewpod. Twitter at @the_guysreview. And remember, if you like the tweet at the top of the page, you can join. I'll throw you in our DM group and you can make fun of us in real time. Facebook.com/theguysreview. Please subscribe, rate, and review us wherever you get your podcast from. Anybody got anything they want to add?
Nope.
fuck you, Trey.
Al, thank you so much for coming on. Again, you got anything you want to plug as far as Produce Stand goes?
Sure. I mean, you can catch us on Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, TikTok at Produce Stand Pod. And, if you're a Letterkenny fan, we're the podcast for you. And one last time, fuck you, Trey.
Hey,
Been
well
a lot
done.
of fun, guys. Thank you so much.
Well, thank you for coming.
Thanks for being
Hopefully,
here.
hopefully we can have you back next week if you're into it. And if not, we'll definitely have you back. And I look forward to coming on the Produce Stand here in the future as well at some point. Besides just the after shows, which are always, I actually kicked Tucker out Friday night to come to the after show to hang out with you guys.
Well, he could have joined. I mean,
It was late.
Yeah, I was tired of shit.
But we'll do that.
I was
one
up
night.
until 2:30 that morning.
Jesus.
That night. Yeah.
I think I tapped out about midnight.
Yeah.
All right. Well, until next week, I'm Steven, Chris, Trey, and Tucker. This has been another episode of The Guys Review. Thanks so much, guys.
Fuck you.
Well played.